Pre-orders are mysteriously being canceled for all the upcoming major Switch games, which makes you worry. We've got a bunch of new release dates and trailers, but I gotta kick it off with the game that looks absolutely insane. Just announced, it was rumored, now it's real. Freaking my cup of tea. And here's my cup of tea for Good Morning Mario and Good Morning Switch fans. Hope you're all doing excellent out there. If you're not, you know what? A little breath, a little touch of grass, and a little refresh of the mind, and maybe you can actually still make this day great. I believe you can. And I think Prince of Persia The Rogue is making my day great because man, oh man, did I love Prince of Persia The Lost Crown. That is the recent Metroidvania that dropped on Nintendo Switch earlier this year, and it, I think, is the best Metroidvania on the platform. Ubisoft did fantastic work resurrecting the prince and resurrecting a gameplay style that really was befitting for all that made Prince of Persia Prince of Persia. And now they're trying to do it again, a double dip in the same year by introducing Prince of Persia The Rogue, a roguelite Prince of Persia with insanely gorgeous, incredible hand-drawn animation that looks amazing. It's so silky smooth. It gives me goosebumps. It's made by Evil Empire and Ubisoft. Evil Empire best known for their work on Dead Cells. It looks a lot like it has the DNA of Dead Cells mixed with Prince of Persia, and also one of my favorite OG games, Aladdin, on the Genesis and SNES. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce, freaking Prince of Persia The Rogue. This is a roguelite Prince of Persia with an emphasis on insane platforming, crazy cool combat, upgrading your weapons, getting new weapons, and boss battles, but most of all, this art style is drawing me in. The Lost Crown ran at 60 frames per second on Nintendo Switch, and this looks to be doing the same, although I gotta make the note that as of right now, Prince of Persia The Rogue has not been announced for Nintendo Switch. It's dropping in mid-May on PC for Steam Early Access, but I can all but guarantee you that when this game does officially release, it will be on Nintendo Switch. Ubisoft did just drop Prince of Persia day and date on Switch for The Lost Crown, and I almost guarantee they'll do the same with The Rogue. I'm just getting such good, crazy Prince of Persia Aladdin vibes. Like, it's got me singing Prince Ali, fabulous he. Look at that platforming. It looks so smooth. The way that Prince moves so darn quick is reminiscent of Lost Crown, but in its own way, and a very Dead Cells way. And then the roguelite nature, it gets obsessive. You know how that goes. I freaking love when I love the way a game looks and it makes me this excited. And I didn't know what Prince of Persia The Rogue would be like. When I heard about it, I thought, oh, that's a good idea. Dude, like, they have delivered. They have delivered, and it shows that Ubisoft, like, I think maybe their strong suit is their smaller games. I think they really nail the smaller games, and that would, like, include Mario plus Rabbids. I don't know that their, quote, AAA titles are where they are at their best. Like, this looks like where they are at their best. I'm not sure why they're choosing to do an early access style. I guess because it's a roguelite game and they want to incorporate a lot of the elements that roguelite titles do through early access, new items, balance tweaking, new worlds and levels, but I am so beyond excited to play this. We won't be playing it on Switch for a while, but if you do have a PC, a Steam Deck, or anything that can run a decent-ish amount of games, then you should be able to play The Rogue next month. I think this looks freaking great. It's one of my most anticipated titles now, and when it does hit Switch, oh man, I love just like The Lost Crown. I went boom, 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 hour after hour after hour. It's going to be the same with this one. And if it's got that same Dead Cells longevity and replayability, oof, we are in for a chef's kiss treat. Now, what's not a treat is pre-orders for the 3 big upcoming Switch games getting mysteriously canceled. You may have seen that pre-orders for Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, and Endless Ocean Luminous have recently gone up at a lot of stores, including Amazon. But mysteriously, this week, Amazon US decided to cancel all the pre-orders for these 3 Nintendo Switch games. Now, what's very interesting here to me, and what makes it a bit suspicious, is these are the only 3 Switch games you could pre-order. It's not like there's other Switch games you can pre-order from Nintendo. This is it. Paper Mario, Endless Ocean, Luigi's Mansion. Like, these are the 3 you can pre-order. Why they canceled the games, why they decided to en masse just like ditch everyone's pre-orders, I do not know. If it was a case of them not knowing how much stock they have, I feel like they would wait until they got more stock or they got a clearer picture on how much stock they had. If it's a case of they put them up for pre-order before they were ready, well, that doesn't make sense because all the pre-orders for Best Buy, GameStop, Target, and Walmart are still up, valid, and have not been canceled. Is it some weird issue between Amazon and Nintendo? Are they having some sort of beef? I don't know. I would think that's crazy. I can't imagine why. It definitely would not be good for either party. But why on earth would Amazon mass cancel all these pre-orders for the 3 upcoming Switch games? I don't have some like doom and gloom proclamation for you. I don't think the Switch is like going out of print or these games are going to be hard to get or anything of the sort, even though they are all sort of smaller titles, given the fact that it's remakes and Endless Ocean. It's not like these are going to be impossible to find. You can always download them digitally, but I will bring up the point that physical games have been going away. I don't necessarily think that that's the case here, but in the future, could we be seeing more of this, where stores are not carrying as many physical pre-orders and as many physical titles because they'd rather opt to just sell you a digital code, or the storefronts themselves, Nintendo eShop, PlayStation Network, and Xbox Marketplace would rather just sell you the games directly. I don't know why Amazon is doing this. I don't think it's time to panic. If your pre-order did cancel, I mean, I think pre-ordering is kind of silly. You don't need to do that. These games will be readily available both digitally and physically, but it is curious. And if we get any sort of update of why Nintendo did it with 3 Nintendo first-party titles, or why Amazon did it with the only 3 Nintendo first-party titles, I'll let you know. In the meantime, if you need to pre-order, Best Buy, GameStop, Target, Walmart do have them. Otherwise, I'd say, May 20, whatever is close. Paper Mario will be out soon. Just buy it on launch. I don't think there's going to be any sort of shortage. But my friends, we do not have a shortage of exciting new games. There was a III Direct today, which is like a big indie direct, and I'm not going to go in depth on every game there because many of them are just announced for PC at this time, although I also know that many of them will be coming to Switch. One of them will be Slay the Spire 2 eventually, even though it's dropping on early access in 2025. This is the card battling beginning, right? I feel like this is sort of where card games really gained a lot of steam again, a lot of hype, a lot of publicity. Slay the Spire came out and was a phenomenal indie that attracted a ton of attention, and it was a big deal when it dropped on Switch. Now Slay the Spire 2 is being made from the ground up in a new engine. They're not really giving much detail. They've got this animated trailer and some screenshots. It does very much look like Slay the Spire, and I do believe it to be a very true sequel. And by that I mean like it's going to be more Slay the Spire. I kind of was hoping that it would end up being more different, more unique, offer a look at how it's more than just, oh, we've added new classes, new cards, and new enemies. But right now that seems to be what it is. Given that this game is launching in early access next year, though, it does have a long way to go. It has a lot of time to evolve and upgrade itself. And when it does hit Switch, the good news is we will get the full final version. Early access is not a thing on Switch, although let me hypothesize about could early access be a thing on Switch 2? Probably not, because updates there are much harder, but wouldn't it be neat given the Switch's huge focus and absolute amazing bond with indie games if they found a way to make early access titles work on Switch 2 so that games like Hades 2 and Slay the Spire 2 could pop on Steam and Switch? I feel like that'd be a big win for Nintendo and a big win for me and for you if you do like these kind of games. There were other titles announced at the III initiative, but I'm not going to cover them because, like I said, most of them are just announced for PC at this time. One that was announced last week, though, or 2 weeks ago maybe, is Chia, previously a PlayStation exclusive, now coming to Switch, and we got a release date for the game where you are island hopping and taking control of animals, as we know people love to do. This one is dropping on June 27th, so it'll be out in about 2 months' time. Crazy that we're already getting to Q2 and almost the halfway point of the year. Like, the time just freaking flies. But if you're interested in Chia, you can pre-order it now. It's coming out on June 27th, and that's right around Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, so the end of June gets a double dose of pretty cool releases. Last but maybe least, depending on how you feel about it, Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, which is another June game, another late June game, so it's actually going to be 3 big releases in a row, got a new trailer detailing the adventure mode. Now, what's interesting here is this is a 1 to 4 player co-op Monkey Ball mode, and it's got a Avengers-style story. We see II getting wrapped up in a whole bunch of Infinity Stones, mass chaos is ensuing, and then they go globetrotting to save the Banana Kingdom. The worlds look really darn nifty. I love seeing Monkey Ball take place in different levels, different types of worlds, and this seems like it's going to be a good time in June. My only concern is I think like the graphics look quite weak. And I don't mean to say that that should detract from the gameplay. I still want to pick this up. I still think it looks like the best Monkey Ball iteration to come out on Switch based on its feature set, based on what it's doing new. But I do think, man, like for something about this trailer, like the graphics just don't look good. I'm not going to Monkey Ball for graphics, but sometimes I just see a Switch game and I'm like, man, if Prince of Persia The Rogue, Prince of Persia Lost Crown can look so good stylized, why don't we just do everything stylized? Trying to go like 3D and run into the limitations of the Switch, I feel, is just such a rock wall that we've ran into so many times. I kind of don't like how Monkey Ball Banana Rumble looks, but I am interested in picking it up, especially because this is a $50 title, and I respect that from Sega, that they are giving us a brand new Monkey Ball at $50, but if I had to tell you, I'm way more excited for Prince of Persia The Rogue. It'll be cheaper, but like I said, you can't get it on Switch in May. It'll probably come to Switch later this year, or maybe they'll use the Prince of Persia The Lost Crown slot. Maybe it'll drop next January in 2025 on Switch in its full 1.0 version. Either way, let me know if you were affected by the Amazon canceled pre-orders. Let me know if you like the look of Prince of Persia The Rogue as much as I do. And let me know what you think of Banana Rumble's graphics in the comments down below. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. I love y'all lots. Thanks again. SwitchForce out.